Hey you, before the video starts, consider dropping a like, a comment, and maybe consider subscribing. This really does help the channel grow. On to the video. Hey guys, it's Main here, backing up with another IE review. Today we are doing a IE review for Prometheus. So I skipped kind of going off the list. Prometheus, the reason I'm doing a review for him is because he gave away a dude on stream. So as a reward to him and thank you to helping the community, I figured why not do an account review for him. I think it's the very least I could do for helping out in the stream. Again, thank you, Prometheus. That is a big thing for you to give away to someone who didn't have dupe before. So as a reward, doing an account review for him, trying to help him focus on things to do, just kind of reorienting yourself and seeing what you can do to help progress your account right now, what I'd really recommend. So obviously mini bosses, probably Mega Feather, maybe considering what I'm seeing off the dashboard here. I think obviously you can you do your bosses here. You have a lot stacked up. You can get some gems, candies, and stuff like that. Maybe even Domio Magma Syllables if you need, which I don't think you need, but just generally, do your mini bosses. I also am struggling and I need to do my mini bosses. But anyways, statue grind. It's looking pretty good. Stamps at 17k stamps, relatively good, as is with most people. I think carry capacity generally is something you can focus on. You got 240 multi-tool, so not the multi-tool, but like mason jar stamp, getting extra carry capacity is pretty good for your account. So just grind this out to like 140 plus, I think is a good stopping point. Maybe 152 roughly, I think is where you can probably consider stopping. At that point, it costs a lot of glass shards to do, so spending a lot of candy, kind of worth it, kind of not. But you can also get things like Drippy Drop Stamp now upgraded, because with your V-Man you have a lot of carry capacity. With the Rucksack Prayer, the carry capacity star signs, with the Matty Bag Stamp, and with High Mason Jar Stamp, you can definitely get this up another 10, 20, maybe even like up to 145 to be completely honest with you. Depends kind of how you use Gilded Stamp, the 90% cost stamp reduction, but those are really good stamps. The liquid regen speed here is really good to help you do some more liquid vestment and more bubo grinding. Pretty important, honestly. Other than that, just look to upgrade stamps whenever you see blue. I see a bunch of blue here, so some of these early game stamps, for example, you could really get up, because Lava did, I want to say recently, but like a few months ago, reduce the amount of resources some of these earlier stamps cost, like Hatchet Stamp, Pickaxe Stamp, Sword Stamp, Heart Stamp, Mana Stamp. I think the Anvil Zoomer Stamp, like these ones were reduced heavily in cost, so you can upgrade these for some free, easy levels. Not that it really does anything, but Mega Feather. Ooh, absolutely. You need to get on the Mega Feather grind. Getting this to 16 is a good, reasonable stopping point. 17 takes a little bit more mental effort and trying to remind yourself to actually do it. It is still worth it to get up to Mega Feather level 17. Because, you're getting 30% drop rate right now versus a person with 16 Mega Feather should be getting 70%. So you can more than double the drop rate that you're getting from Owl right now. And 40% drop rate is nothing to scoff at. It's actually really good. So it's a good source of drop rate, among other things, but definitely, absolutely. Owl and Kangaroo, I just can't be bothered. Kangaroo, I completely understand. I'm with you in that, brother. But Owl, you absolutely should, because drop rate is really good. Really important. I typically don't talk about Kangaroo because of how ass this mechanic is, but it does also have some good stuff like AFK gains. I think a good stopping point, try to get this like 22 to 23%. I think you can suffer a little bit more in doing that. At least do the mechanic like once a day. That's it. Owl, set a timer, check it at least once a day, and you'll progress a lot faster. But for 8 Mega Feather, it's still really easy for you to get this up even further. So Owl, I feel like there's no excuse why you can't do this. Kangaroo, completely understand. I hate it so much. Okay, bubbles. I like the levels I'm seeing. Yeah, IT does also have alerts for hour reset, which is what I was alluding to earlier. You can see in World 1, this very easily tells you if you have a restart available. In some of the earlier resets, as well as with the vault upgrades, Owl is much easier than it was before. So getting to 16 mega, even 15 Mega Feather is not that hard. So I would consider looking at your toolbox at least once a day, seeing if your reset's available, or even forget toolbox, just look at your Owl and see if the reset's worth it, or rather, Oh my god, yeah, I think you're just like fresh in a reset because there's no reason it's taken 33 Q days. Absolutely not. Anyways, going back out to World 2, the bubbles. So I wanted to talk about, look at some of the things I'm seeing here. Big P, for example, is relatively really low level. I think you can invest more atoms in here. I think in a previous IE review, I mentioned 2K in Big P is good. I still recommend pushing it even further than that. I.e. Scully's auto reviewer actually is a really good tool to look at for Arctis divinity level in Big P, so you can get more minimum talent levels. I recommend looking at Scully's auto reviewer and talking about that, but I absolutely recommend spending more atoms into Big P. I honestly recommend getting this to like 6,000 is generally recommended, because that's I think that's when I can't remember the exact breakpoints. I think, like I said in a previous video, I said like 2,000 and 191 divinity is what a good stopping point is. But the more Big P levels you have, the more the easier it will be to reach the plus 18 minimum talent level breakpoint for Arctis. And I think 191 and I think 2,000 plus, I think it's 4,000. I have no fucking idea. I have no idea, but yeah, keep getting up Big P. I think 6,000 is a fantastic, great stopping point for that. However, I'm going to crash out again. However, the big limiting factor now with the future update to come out is probably going to be Divinity EXP, because it's going to get heavily, absolutely obliterated thanks to the Dragon Warrior statue getting, again, completely obliterated. So yeah, good luck on the Divinity grind. You only have one sigil left to do. I completely understand you not wanting to do this, but again, tome points. If you want to complete your sigils, I still would. Why not? It's just one sigil. Yeah, I think your cap and rate, I think it's fine. Just go finish the sigil just for completionist's sake. Files are good. I mean, I have nothing to say about vials. It just depends how much you care. But Dreadlow vial, the Dreadlow bar vial, it is possible to get this to 13, as is God Shard. Now, for your mental health, I wouldn't do God Shard, but Dreadlow, I would consider doing Dreadlow. I'm considering doing it for myself even. That's, yeah, I mean, if you want to do it, go for it. Why not? But it is possible to do Dreadlow. It takes, how much does it take, chat? Like 10 trillion God Shard ore or something. So you need several stacks of Dreadlow ore in your storage before you consider doing candies on your Siegebreaker. But you absolutely can. The more vials you have at 13, just generally the better your account is, because it'll most importantly increase the effectiveness of the turtle vial to give you more like construction speed and build rate and stuff. 7 trillion with oils, 15 trillion without oils. That makes sense. I mean, from a rough like math like standpoint, I mean, like so it takes 1k ores for 1 bar for Dreadlow. So if I want 105, how much is it? I don't even fucking remember. It is just 1 billion, right? Divided, or sorry, times 1,000 ore, right? So million, billion, trillion. You need 1 trillion, apparently. So 1 trillion ore for 1 billion bars. That's how that works. But you need less. Oh, for God Shard. Yeah. But that doesn't include the base multi bar chance from upgrading the forge. So you need realistically less than 1 trillion ore. You probably need closer to like 800 billion if you don't use any oil. And if you do use oil, it's going to absolutely eat through it, I think, because of how high the forge capacity is and how quickly it'll just destroy the stack. I think your oil stacks are going to go well below, but you can quickly replenish that over time to be green stack, but make sure you're using the World 6 oil. World 5 oil's also fine as a backup if you do run out of it. But yeah, that's roughly 1 trillion ore for the Dreadnought vial. For God Shard, obviously it's gonna be 15 times that, so 15 trillion, because that is the conversion from God Shard ore into bar. Good. Prometheus, I think you know what I'm going to say. I think after the crash out earlier today, I think you need to join the rest of the end gamers and reprint. Now is your chance. If you don't lock in the gains before the destruction, before the devastation, before Armageddon, then you're absolutely cooked, man. I think you should reprint before the next Cavern update, which by the time this video comes out, likely has already happened. And we will truly actually see what the fallout is from the Dragon Warrior statue removal. But we're just kind of guessing and speculating that it's going to be disastrous for prints for endgame players who have already grinded it out. So before the update, Prometheus, didn't take print since World 6 come out. I can see that. Yep. I mean, I'm just guesstimating. I'm gonna assume you can probably like 100 to 1,000 extra ore print. Maybe 100x. And the fact this is here. 300 bill. That's pretty good. Similarly, we already talked about this in, I think, Leighton's review, but you can also grind out this bubble a lot higher, like a lot higher. You can probably, if you consider doing the Dreadwolff vial to level 13, I think at the same time on your Siegebreaker, you can definitely get this vial up to maybe like 5k is a good stopping point. 10k is like best, just to get you more damage. Take advantage of the boost food effect that you have available to you right now, and getting this this bubble up a lot more is gonna be pretty useful, just generally for bubble levels, but also for a little bit extra damage. Just, you know, it gets you more tome points just the more bubble levels you have. I would also, just going back to alchemy real quick, I think you should also try to get some of the farming bubbles up to like 99%. So that means, was it like 4,500 or so? I would even consider getting them to 10,000 just because you can, just for like more door damage. I don't know where you are in sneaking, but you know, it would help you with breaking down the doors a little bit faster. I mean, you're currently mastery 2. Mastery 3 is incredibly important, again, for the minimum 5 talent levels is really powerful. I think doing some more aquamarine farming, some more starite farming, and eventually when you get to M2F6, getting moissanite. I think that's M2F6 for moissanite. Definitely worth it. Also, I wouldn't scatter the rosaries like you have here. I would just stick to Veil Rosary and then Veil Rosary and then double Lotus Flower on 4 characters. That's my recommendation. So 6 pushers and 4 mules. Yep. Yeah, I think you should take some time and grind out some gemstones just to prep yourself. But once you get to moissanite, things will start opening up a lot, because that gives you a ton of sneaking. It gives you a ton of door damage. It gives you a ton of gold charm effect, which again translates to more door damage, eventually more stealth, eventually more jade coin generation, even more door damage with another gold charm that you get in mastery 2. So there's a ton of opportunity for you to gain power and push into sneaking once you unlock moissanite. But if you can't grind out moissanite, if you're at like 90 plus sneaking detection rate, I think grinding out the aquamarine is probably a good thing for you to do. Getting it to 5k, seeing how it feels pushing, and then getting it to 10k if you still need that little extra bit. But also farming is another incredible thing to do to help give you more sneaking. As you can see here, I mean, you can understand the power of the land rank database, but the sneaking percent per farming level is incredibly good for helping you push sneaking. There's also the whole upgrade, the lamp, the world 6 wishes. This gives you a ton of stealth as well, a ton of crop chance for farming. But I think regarding the whole, I think you should focus on the world 6 stuff to help you with sneaking, because the mastery 3 is incredibly important. It's really powerful for your account, so that's a #1 priority for you right now, is to get to mastery 3. And then you should, as the cavern updates coming out, consider putting points into infinite resources, because this should impact the next resource from the hole, which is, I believe, the jar, as it's coming out, based off the sneak previews that Lava's putting into the Discord. So infinite resource is a great source, or great thing to put your wishes into, as is the world 6 wish. Summoning is just get lucky. That's it. You have the super bits, obviously. I see one of the characters has plus 18, essentially. Yeah, you're 203 divinity, so you took advantage here with the divinity EXP. Definitely good. Overall, what is your talent level on your DB? 383. It could be wrong. Oh, your combustion's not 300 here. Is that the right preset? Combustion at 300 is really important, because that hits the 100% chance breakpoint, and that guarantees the detonation procs every single time you kill the horde monsters. So I don't know if this is actually bugging out, but I highly recommend trying to get this to 300 before anything else. Getting Graveyard Shift maxed out, Grimoire maxed out, Marauder Style maxed out, and as you learned today, getting Famine of Fish maxed out is actually really good. And axes as well. The more axes you get. Thunderous, thanks for the sub, man. But getting axes maxed out, this is also really good for pushing. This is like baseline, really important. Axes, Combustion, Graveyard Shift, Marauder Style, Grimoire, those are the most important ones to max out first, and then at that point putting obviously at least 1 point into Wraith form, and then all the rest of your points into Famine of Fish is actually more important than Wraith form, as we just recently found out. So yeah. DBs. Yeah, well, you know. Got a mule here, good. How's your cooking doing? So, time. Lots of meals that are under 500 ladles. He has a second DB. I don't know if the actually stacks or not. Pretty good. Overall, I mean, you have I want to say a decent chunk of meals that are under 500 ladles. I think you can gain a lot by doing some farming, actually. So, #1 thing I see here is that stronger vines. #1 thing that I see here is stronger vines is not at the X 40% breakpoint, so you're not at 340. I would get on that immediately, because if you have all the Instagrow generators, every 40% is really important. So at 40% at 140%, 240, 340, 440 is a breakpoint for guaranteed +1 crop, which is going to help you with farming just a little bit, help you push a little bit faster and get more magic beans when you do trade-ins. So getting this up into like 440%, I think is absolutely key. And it would help you a ton in farming. So I highly recommend getting on the grind for this and trying to push higher levels of stronger vines. Nutritious soil doesn't seem like it would do a lot, but it actually still does a decent bit. It does decrease it by milliseconds at this point for you, but even if you reduce this by 50 milliseconds, you're effectively increasing the speed of this crop growth by 20%. So it actually is pretty significant. So while you are grinding out stronger vines, honestly, I would consider getting to a point where nutritious soil and stronger vines are the exact same crops. So you can grind them out at the same rate. It becomes feasible to do that with higher levels of nutritious soil, I believe. Maybe stronger, I don't know. But there is a point where they do collide, become the same crop, and you can grind them out at the same time. Also, don't sleep on farming EXP gain. This late game is actually pretty important because, again, it helps you with sneaking, but it's also going to help you with... Is it summoning EXP? No, it's cooking speed. I don't remember. Farming does something. I mean, it also gives you stealth, but generally farming EXP actually is pretty good. This is a good increase because, again, this gets multiplied by any of the other all skill percent sources that you have, specifically the farming EXP GMO, as well as the guild bonus for skill EXP. So just the more farming EXP sources that you have, the easier it is to level up farming, which means you can get more crop evo from the star sign. That's what I was thinking of, as well as stealth percent. So again, farming is also farming EXP is something you can also grind out. Okay, when you do bean resets, I think just for nicety, try to get this value GMO up to 2%. There's no real reason to do it. I just think it's a nice number, so you should do it too. Speed GMO, I think getting this up to 30% is genuinely a good stopping point. OG fertilizer, I would get this to like 3.5x, just so you have an easier time doing OG farming, because that means you get more magic beans you need to trade in, or at least you have a higher opportunity chance to get more magic beans you need to trade in, because you can get up to like the 500x 500,000x to million to 2 million OG on a lot of crops pretty easily. Evolution GMO is the main priority focus for when you're at this stage of farming. Getting into 200 210 crops requires like almost close to like 2.8 to 3x crop evo per 200 crop you have. So that when you do bean resets, that's pretty much all you want to focus on is Evo GMO. But like I said, get this to 30%, get this to 3.5, get value to 2%, and then just straight up put all your beans into Evo GMO, and that's it. Hello? 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 Cooking, get this to 1,000. I'm assuming you have a lot of balloons, so get this to 1,000. Hey, what's up, Mongola? It's the best way to get golden jam. What are the sources of that, guys? Is World 5 World 6? What does it? Whimsical. World 6, it seems like. So World 6. So in this case, you want as much drop rate as possible on bubo. So you would take your bubo, get as high auspicious aura level as you can, and I wouldn't even yeah, and then just place it down on all these platforms, and then skip as many waves as possible. The reason you do bubo is because it kills like the quickest than DK, and DK orb does not work in World 5 World 6 Colosseum. So you want to maximize the amount of points you get, because the more points you get, the more chests you get. Hey Franzi, what's up, man? So when you do the Colosseum in World 6, bubo is the best. The more points you get, the more chests you unlock. And I think you can get up to 320 mil for the second silver chest. I think it's kind of where the breakpoint is. Yeah, I mean, you aren't hitting that. But if you do bubo, I think you can get up there. So definitely do bubo. just swap between the platforms, drop down the auspicious aura, and try to push it as fast as you can. Getting to 320 mil on the silver chest is going to help you a ton and getting you a little extra golden kebabs, gold food tickets, etc. Did you get the salt lick completed? Slacker. I think you forgot this got updated. Anyways, remember to spend your salts at this upgrade here. It's going to cost 40 mil to max out for the refinery speed, but this was recently updated. Lava added 90 more levels to this, so you get more refinery speed to help your refinery a little bit. So make sure to do that. What's the call is best for golden bread? World 5. Yeah, make sure to spend your salts here, get more refinery speed. Pretty easy if you're late game to get this maxed out. Golden bread is world 5. World 5 for sure. Same logic applies. Go on bubo, kill things as fast as you can, and try to get as many points as you can so you can get an extra silver chest or gold chest, whatever it is, at the end of the Colosseum. Similar Idleon wiki world 5 Colosseum. The molten Colosseum, the points break. So yeah, I think 48 mil is the point break point. That's roughly accurate. Hold on. Let me go to mine so I can check, because I hit it all the time. 32 mil. I guess not. I guess the second gold chest. That's the break point. Yeah, same rule applies there. So you want to go on bubo as high drop rate as you can and just kill things as fast as you can. Skip all the waves as fast as you can and just max that out. No problem, Prometheus. Okay. Ooh, this shrine's almost leveled up. Make sure to get a stack of gold cheese for your characters, because obviously the core of Idleon is you can't play all 10 characters at once. So you'll eventually be claiming AFK time on your characters. So you want to make sure you have golden cheese across all of your characters, so that increases your shrine level up rate. So the more gold cheese, again, the world 3 gold food you kill from getting the crystal mobs, you can farm that on DK on blood bones is what I recommend. Get at least a stack of 1,000 to 10,000 across all of your characters. That way, when you claim AFK time on them, it'll increase the amount of AFK time that goes into shrines, which means leveling up will be a lot easier. It will also help you if you do end up using candies for getting the Dreadnought vial completed. Those candies would go towards leveling up your shrines. Remember to place them down when you do that, and that would help you level up the shrines, because right now you are, like I said, pretty close to getting level 27 on Crescent Shrine, and if you were to use those candies, it would push you that much further to getting 28 on all the shrines just generally. So okay, I think I'll stop there. My voice is starting to go out. So Prometheus, I hope you got some good utility out of that. And I will, I'll see you guys on YouTube in the next video. So have a great day. Bye. Hey there guys, it's Bane here. I just wanted to say deeply thank you to everyone who does support me over on YouTube and or Twitch. It really does help motivate me to continue making more videos. If you would like to become a channel member just starting at $1 a month, please check the description below. Have a great day.